nấu nói những nấu chưa sáng cần đồ để về trên hình mong nơi do thơ rồi nhớ đồ mong căn cứ của tôi nhớ đồ lúc tết chấm này cả đại ra tưởng long Xiong giờ thân thân tu mong của tàu trâu sải là the President Biden là ở tuổi thơ chư xa kế của liêu tê nhớ đồ Los California họ đã ra tưởng long Xiong mua trong nó vì要坚持的集团文化包天诞出一种都做集团的文化包路好偏天女都包说nữ cho bé trong nhiều mong tôi nhớ lúc đấy chuyện nó nữ chân hay để in nút tư bây giờ chậu và cho nữ tung bao số chuyện đã ra tầm long Xiong cho ít tu để chậu cho nữ tung bao số giờ đi nữ tung bao số thì nữ lúc rảnh mua bây giờ nhiều mong yếu khởi chia với tụi bé thuộc khu tụi bé lúc xe luôn chữ cuốn chân hay để in nút tận đây nó chỉ nên cuốn hay để ta sẽ nó bé chừng nhớ được đây được tờ thiên được luôn lúa sư ta sẽ in nút tư bé giờ mình dùng mong yếu một nhóm bé lúc ta học sai tàu hay để in nút tư bé chừng mình không yếu chúng mà giờ mình tôi nhiều một rồi phải chế đó bé một state senator một congressman chế một senator nhớ bé là even president giờ này nó có sáu môn lúc sửa nó một đường đầy cân của nó giờ sau chỉ tham được phù bỏ thì trồng tu cho giờ chỉ muốn này một đòn trà bỏ đồ tê lúc chờ hoặc dọc kế được bên tua nú nó đã được tưởng long Xiong chỉ một nú nó cú thọ biết sẽ sợ hở do gì tham được phù bỏ thì bên trồng tu cho xuôi tu và tàu giải biết sẽ được một lần họ biết sẽ cầu second我就他是的柔道，合作一种特叫种都正参加，种的种子默默做动，工作就被把 plan committee 手下电脑，容些到在内，多讲被的工程。我被我测试到在那等long Xiong lúc nào被bỏ này trong lĩnh vực của thời cho Dr. Lawyer của NASA trong nghề trồng chỉ bằng một số tôi còn bé giấy vào trong trường cầu này để thấu này trồng lúc nào biết bỏ này tôi bốn người lúc tuổi trẻ nó giấy vào này thiệt tôi bé hay thiệt nếu sai nó công trình sơ sơ đồ đã được long Xiong nó整天都那保利家，天整天都被整空保利家，找他不那周罗呢，那多了，他那到被nhau，投币个做投手，从那古天被把 plan committee 他我周đã được long Xiong，天个这呢，我这罗呢整被，介绍了被。นี่ที่สายเป้ลำบากทุกองค์ชิงเราจบก็เอเจอร์ยาเป้ว่าตัวตรงนี้จะละกุ้งเจนให้เดียก็เทียบเจนนี่อยู่เจ้าเชียตัวยาเป้ว่าตรงนู้นน่ะเอว่าเจ้าตัวนี้ช่องเดอกูเทียบเป้บ้าเป็นคอมมิดี้ทว่าเจ้าตัวต้าชอบเป้บ้านเนี่ยเจว่าตัวบ้าเป้ว่าเดียวหนูเจ้าจงเป็นเจ้าวางเจอจะตู้หลวงใส่หลวงgiờ chúng mình ba bên bộ này nó bây giờ bộ chỉ tàu lúc công trình trả giá từ ba bộ này nó cho direct long Xiong giờ thì bây giờ chọn trong này tôi sẽ công chi lử nung mua được chỉ hay là bên ba nó bây giờตัวba này làเขาbên ba tàu cái nó của thầu ở châu cho chua tung rồi bên ba phần mì nó của trong xe chắc là我不么种路是这，到时候一般都是种， 政治莫种主义，现代天毛写着都好了，到北路这边了之后，我给是不是第四不是下浪道主义，我把那错都毛写天需要更努力，那应去看哩，要哩弄到路工程了天点了，就北路写啥。nếu chúng tôi ý là đầu tư và bây giờ chế tàu là hay cho nên đồn đại nữa là đồ châu em cũng sợ cái là tôi chơi châu để đi chụp số tu cho cái lưu thiết support chú sinh nên support của họ lo những bên sự support direct từ Blong Xiong cũng chính là thì nên số tu đâu cũng sợ cho nó giờ qua tàu tàu giờ nó bên trên không trâu luôn những dạng đây, ở trong.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is a wonderful celebration. And Blong, my friend, to be with you here with all of our friends and the Hmong community, the greater Southeast Asian community. Not only from our valley, but I know from Southern California and elsewhere. And to have Mom and Dad here is truly a reflection of the American dream. This is not only to celebrate the highest appointment by President Biden and his administration of a person of Hmong descendancy, but it's more importantly a reflection of who Xiong is. And by way of saying, the entire family that is here, this is about family. This is about community. This is about immigrants past and immigrants present. This is about the American story. And it's why I wanted to be here this afternoon, to celebrate with you the strings, ceremony of strings, right? I've been to a few ceremonies of strings. I was honored. I didn't take the strings off for a month, maybe 2 weeks. But I just want to thank you. I want to thank each and every one of you, because Blong and I have had some success, but we've had success because of each and every one of you. You allow us to stand on your shoulders. And for those here who made the long journey after the Vietnam War, it has not always been easy. Those of you who are here that are still a part of that SGU effort, God bless you. And we're going to ultimately make sure that you get your honors due to you. I promise I will do everything I can. But I'm here today to thank Blong Xiong, his family, and our extended family for this very important appointment. Agriculture is California is the #1 agriculture state in the nation. Numero uno, as you would say in Espanol. The #1 agricultural state. Last week we recorded over $51 billion in California at the farm gate. Half the nation's fruits and vegetables. The largest producer of oranges and mandarins in the country. 20% of all the milk produced in the United States is produced in California. 70% of all the world's almonds and 50% of all the world's pistachios are grown in California. Over 300 various kinds of commodities. And Blong is the state director for the United States Department of Agriculture to work with California agriculture. That is a very, very important job. And I can't think of someone more qualified and more dedicated. And Mom and Dad taught him how to work from a young age, which is very important, so that I am so confident that he will continue to do the very best. And Secretary Vilsack, the Secretary of the United States Department of Agriculture, asked me to give you his best wishes. He and President Biden knew what they wanted in a person of particular skill sets, but also someone who was part of the American story, of immigrants past and immigrants present. And while we have business people, shop owners, people of education, and medicine, and everything here, we also have a lot of Hmong farmers. Hmong farmers like my grandparents who came here, not speaking English, illiterate, but they knew how to milk cows. That's what my family knew how to do. And so for the immigrants who came, who are farmers here, the Highlanders, from these rural areas, God bless you. It's hard work. I know, I used to do that work when I was on my family's farm. So I want to make a presentation. But let me tell you something. I have not told Blong this. I don't know if he has thought about this. This is a political appointment by the President of the United States. But the director for the state of California for the United States Farm Services Agency under the USDA, there's a history here because other presidents appoint other people to this position. And I don't want you to get really hurried or really anxious, Blong, but Devin Nunes was the state director for Farm Services Agency. And look what happened to him. Connie Conway was the director of Farm Services Agency. And look what's happened to her. Don't be thinking about running for my job anytime soon, Blong. Please. I'm running for re-election. And I need your support. But I am honored to be here. Because as you can see, Blong and I are good friends. And we've been through good times and difficult times. And to share all of this with you is indeed humbles me. As your representative, I try every day to work so hard on behalf of you because that's my job. And I know Blong is doing the same thing as the state director for the Farm Services Agency. So without further ado, the drum roll, let me, as your congressional representative, oh, we got a drum roll back there, very good. As your representative from the United States House of Representatives in Washington, let me present the Certificate of Special Congressional Recognition to Blong, our State Director for the Farm Services Agency, the USDA, the #1 agricultural state in the nation, in honor of your dedication and commitment. Congratulations on your appointment as a State Executive Director.
Bây giờ chủ trò bây giờ mình đúng nhiều cẩn thận. bây giờ thơ bây giờ cứ cho ti có bao của lao cả cho nhiệt chế có bao trà chế bao hai lúa America bao hồ lử đi ở đi kiaนั่นvì tiền thầu cái nhất tích chấm lo cho kia cho của lao cả tư cho nhiệt của tê tưแต่ชีเนี่ยเราเป็นตัวนี้ต้องเราจะชี้จงของอเมริกาได้เนาะเป็นจะมีตุ้มอยู่ก่อนแล้วก่อนเราเชียงไฮ้ตู้เชียงชัยต้องอินพาแต่ตัวด็อกเตอร์แต่ชีกูบอกแต่ไม่จะจุดจ้องมาแล้วตอนที่เชียร์เนี่ยไอ้โจอีกูมูวิลูงานเด็กกูจี้อีตูคือตีมึงยากnên là hai đứa cũ thì đang chơiกูทำแล้วก็ถามกูจะไม่อยู่กับด็อกเตอร์เขากูลูกเจ๊แกชื่อมันจ้วตัวด็อกเตอร์เลยเขาหนึ่งครอบครัวใช่ไหมเดี๋ยวกูจะเดี๋ยวที่เราลงเชื่อดูก็ในวันนี้วันที่ในป้อแค่จะไม่อยู่อ่ะป้อเธอจะไม่อยู่กับเต้ากับเต้าthôi gọi là một lúc năng rong mà vậy khỏi rong biết họ qua rồi mà đồ là bên không thì sẽ đợi cần đóเนี่ยนะเป็นหมวดจอตู้เจจงแต่ชี้นุ่งหนาเป็นตัวเซอร์บริกของนายาผู้ถูกคือลงช่องรู้กงชันนาvì ở trên nữ giờ ý tụ mong ở President Biden tao sai nữa tao chú nữa là không lừa với tôi director họ Department of Agriculture quay đầu này thì chẳng chắc hẳn ha mà để bên mong luôn năng là lừa giả bên chỉ căng ngõ cái số liệu tê là bên trongแต่ชีวิตชีวิตจะ resource เป็นชีวิตแต่อย่าเจอโลกูอวดกิริยาอย่าเจอโลหะแต่แบบเป็นใจเก๋ว่าละอุลัวอย่าอุริยาไอ้เป็นโจตู้เราเราจะชี้จบเป็นตัวเตะเจอเราไอ้เป็นพันเจียเช่รถเตะคือริยารถเตะอุเลี้ยวเตะริยาเป็นโจเป็นคอปปี้อยู่ซึ่งแต่ฉันนุ่งนอเป็นมันจับมองเป็นมือตัวตู้มองเต้าละตัวเต้าหรือจัดจังเต้าละตัวจะ resource จะ information นะเต้าหรือนะหัวนะอย่าป้าแต่เป็นมองอย่าต่อเต้ก็เป็นลูกของมัวปอกเกเด็กชาบูอาจจะอุเลี้ยวเต้อุลิกามุ่งเชลิสตรองเต้าgiờ trời bé ô liêu té là dạo này chả bé mong cho đi mua luôn bền là luôn còn luôn bỏ giờ chó mong ô liêu té nó lấy chẳng chắn cũng mua example đây mẹ cũng ấy tụ không dư giờ ấy tụ general nhá tàu thay tê người tàu tiền to tua à trẻ ô liêu chả chẳng muốn nhắc cần xa dùng tayแต่ชีเรา represent 15% แต่รู้ state of Arkansas ละยอดเนี่ยได้ดอก Indonesian ที่กูชี้เข้าใจ information correct ไอ้มองตัวกูชี้%เลยแต่จะใกล้นี่นุ่งนอนเนี่ยนอกจากเคนติกี้ไฟชิคเก้นเนาะเดี๋ยวเรามองจ่อใช่ไหมไอ้หนึ่งซาเดี๋ยวเรียกเยอะริจาปนมัวตกจนนั่งตุ้งไข่หน้าหมูไทยเต้เมื่อตอนจะ system เราหมดเท่เอกไทยนะแต่อุลินอเทียเราติดต่อตัวเรื่องหัวอย่าได้เจอโทษจากไอ้เราหมดเท่ละในมัวกิ่งเลยช่วงนี้อยู่วันนี้ตัวใครตัวเท่แต่ชีนี่จุดตัวเกิดอาจจะเลยอยู่ในการเห็นห้องนั่นที่อูอย่าไปมองถูไปรู้นั่งอย่าไปชอบโดนหลงซึ่งai mà cứ no mà ông kia này hay tao ăn này giờ mất cơ tiếng trong thì cũng khó rồi đó chứแต่ชีเนี่ยน้อยอันนี้มันคือมันตีย่อ xa Southeast là giờ nên một chùa là cho system rộng hẳn nè giờ là một ý câu chùa đây là chỉ lớn chỉ mấy tụ cho lớn chỉ mấy tụ là thò lúc họ trong đó lớn là cha giờ đi chăm mong dù khai thì trong này giờ mình trả cái luôn năng kề giờ sở tàu đi chùa tàu đây nên bảo bố thì cái mua mong của đi trả cái nhớ đây là California giờ lúc stay là của liệu đâyคืออยู่รู้อเมริกาđây rồi để biết cho mong là của liệu đây nhớ đầu giá California nó giờ cho trông theo từ chỉ bên một ý tu nào nè giờ thọ tao lúc họ trông được bên tôi nói giờ của tụi cứ lông cái nhau thì sao nó là bố tê đâu bê tụi mong là lông trông nữa nè của thọ củaเราcái này cái tí của lo lên sống kia này đời này dù cho ít chúng mình nhiều cho trâu xia là ổn được luôn anh cho trâu xia là trả thì giá bản tê nó dầu lấy trả thì sở tàu là ba mong dù theo mua ít kho opportunity thì dù giá phải trăm mong giờ cần tía của liệu tê ở giờ của lao cả dù chế năng cứ chế ở đây rong cơ là chỉ tàu mua opportunity giá phải trăm mong em lúc trong tàu ta không lừa nó thì cú rong xe nó có thì cứ cú thọ có lưu bị nhầm mong cho tàu xe đó là thả giả từ có một lượng chữ gì từ một cái information từ giá bán và pe hải mong còn lại một cái ít thành là pe anh chị của pe cứ tìm mong sẽ đời của hai đứa này của là nhon nó lose là California nó của chúng ta cho cái cổ ý chẳng lỗi bờ của chúng chỉ giá cả mua chẳng đó rồi giờ để làmเป็นไม่ต้นไทรชื่ออยู่ว่าไอ้เจ้าเนี่ยตรงเนี่ยมันเนี่ยต่างแต่สิ่งเป็นมือที่ตุtừ đây mình tôi mình hoa tao không lười rồi từ đây mình tôi mình hoa cần tao xe bây dùng xe tặng tròn bây chỉ tao để có bây giờ muốn tặng thì ai nữa rồi giờ mong cú biến rồi nè nhưng mà cả tê giờ yên với tê chờ được một opportunity rồi bên cái gì bên chẳng mong nhau là tê thay tê lấy cỡ tía mua cho doctor nè mua cho nên cỡ tầng chê tầng chi mua ô cát cho lại là mua ý ả chi thì khó chứ bên cái chủ yếu minority chê có cỡ tía là cái ô chỉ tao thì lên đời cho cái gì muốn thay nhá thay tên cái liền lòng bèo thay tả chỉ cả xin bèo mong thì giờ có xin bèo mong có mù thọ lửa của lịch mua giờ tao không lừa là đứa chỉ muốn thành tuần gì hay luôn mong cái nhá trả luôn bao chứ cái cuốn lấy bía là của mấy khoa mi đình cho mình ở lúc trên university tôi hay là của thiết giờ còn nên tỷ này nữa dù chủ rong xe thì dù mong nè bây giờ này cả tê cũng biết rồi là bây giờ lao cả là bây giờ thì cũng dầm mong cần đâu là thì cũng dầm mong bây giờ chỉ ta mua liền thì bây lúc về mong là bây giờ hải bây giờ mong chơi mong mua là giờ thì nhớ cả lứa tê sai chỉ tao chỉ mua thôi ủa Indo giờ nuôi bao giờ ô giờ mong là chỉ tiền giờ mong là được không bâyตัวป้องได้เฉยเลยเป็นจอมีตัวมีอยู่เกิดเถอะเป็นจอมีตัวมีอยู่ว่าโอ้เขาหลุดลงโดยยิงเชื่อเลยที่จะจอป้องแล้วนั่งลงนะถงยัดได้เฉยรอแล้วฉีมั่วโอกาสด้วยนะอย่าเลยมั่วอะไรหัวเต่าอะไรหัวเด้จะมีอย่างห้องเกิดแล้วห้องคอลเลจแต่ชินอหรืออย่านั่งติ๊กจอกอย่าเลยชิเต่าเลยล่ะอย่าคนนั้นอย่าคอยลงชัดเลยกูไม่คอยแอคชั่นโปรเมวันเดย์โดนี่ถอยกูมัวเขาหรือยังเต้mấy tuần xài mong nèกูchỉ nhắc hát để chẳng hát chỉ là trong liều không ra là muốn gì nó giờ doctor medical doctor nếu tua thay tê để tôi train cho มีở doctor Thái ở tháp và cởi cái tiếng chỉ lựa cho chẳng này không tôi cho cái sạch tôi đầu kho chỉ cho này cho nhiều student này chỉ là nhiều quá giờ đầu tiên doctor số chỉ là chỉ 3 đâu số là chỉ mấy chục con không tôi mò chỉ tụ doctor này chỉ có một con tụ con đó sang một con thật là ôi giờ mong chỉ có cái này nữa tụ bắt thay lại nào chỉ chúng nhận thèm mong là chứ một hai lần tôi nói rằng cú yêu cácตัวnày cú na cú yêu cúกับ pass จะchỉ pass อย่างcúนะไอ้ก็ชิมอย่างมองนะใครก็cúอย่างมองcúอย่างมองcú yêu cácตัวnàyนะchúng nhận thèm mongในการนะแล้วเบียร์ผมลองกูจะโจกูลองเช็คกันก่อนเอ็งว่าจะมีอะไร strongเนี่ยนอตรงนี้ที่จะนอคือตีมองได้ตรงเช็ดตรงนี้ตัวเล็กตัวตูลุงนอกูลงเช็ดเราเช็ดมุ้งช่องเช็ดเบกกอีสันลงเช็ดเรากูรอเปลี่ยนตรงเช็ดนั่นลงเช็ดเรากูตัวคือ director ลงช่องเอชิลูชิปากูอันโดเน่ตอนนี้ถึงลงมานุ่งตื่นก็จอห้องหรือนอนเจเด็กก็จ้าเด็กก็เด็กเต้าห้องหรือเป็นต่างงมงกุยจังยังไงก็นักบอกแต่กูอันดูก็เดี๋ยวก็โทษเจมีนะกูยังจอตอนนั้นเป็นยังมงนะชีไซสันตัวที่กูเตาเท่าเกี่ยวตัวจัวงัวตัวเตาเป็นการใช้นะการชีมั่วเมื่อตัวเราอุจิตเตาเมื่อตัวเราอุจิตเตาเองรวยเรียนแต่ชีชีตามั่วละนี่อุจิตเตาอะไรเป็นพวกเดียวมั่วนะยังมั่วตัวเตาอาชีพอาชีพสุดท้ายนะเขาก็จะได้พ้นตอนนั้นคือนังลอยให้ส่วนตู้ส่วนตู้มั่วก็มั่วมองโดยเป็นตั้งทอเสด็จย่อหนอเป็นมองตัวอีสันมั่วก็มั่วมองโดยกูเจนังมั่งจ้องก็เป็นราคาลุ้นราคาเงินรองลุ้นในเงินรองก็เป็นมองชีลูก็เป็นมองหวานมั่งเป็นลุ้นนังเคียนจะดีย้อนถึงปฏิทินวันจันทร์เราจะกินจะนั่งจ่าเสด็จอีกจงจะนั่งเจ้าจอจงนะที่นี่ทาง要ตัวเจนส่วนตัวดังก็是我ได้ชับหลังแต่นัวเอาเจ้ารับประทานท่านกรรมการจัดงานเอาจอรู้ใจยังเราพาเป็นรู้ผมไม่รู้จะจองกันเลยนู่นยังนู่นเจ๋งเจ๋งกันเลยvìเป็นไม่ตัวตัวเองเอาใส่คันเด่นหนุ่มง่วงนุ่มเองยอมไม่หายตัวเองเลยยอมไม่กับตัวเองมองnhà cho biết nó xây California nó mua gì lên bao dầu lan từตัวnàyแต่เสพติดตัวnày nhà tôi người trâu lỗ tên nào chưa sinh ra bù tôi ra tuần chứ họ tên nụ từ nửa mò xa sử dụng nhà tôi những nhà bên một sư tư một đồ lò sản phát một sư dài biết haiตัวเองจริงจะเจอยังจะเอาอะไร但是比较你一种马山石柱我就问你我养的高山着套路不都在蹲之中让他的罗来罗电脑就这山不大的找电路就能我你主我到看电路这里我动感有的呢罗他那个阿怪着cả được một tối phát triển đủ chỉnh kia đâu đó thì nó em nó có chú đã tập luyện trong đồng ra anh thơ có bây giờ chơi hay là bây hai này dùng ý tu rồi nhà sa bỏ lên rồi nó có dùng ý tu bảo bu rồi bây giờ tôi này hay là dùng ý tu chủ rong ô rong mong sao sẽ thành sự rồi rồi thế nào thì chữ như thế không muốn 有晒的呢，有菜的呢，有找店长弄出多来的，好的呢要告诉给中，有个到我这的不，哎，他必须得我的话，那的弄像路线呢，要多人我到那种程度，我说店长得听这。thao ta nó mong là bắt sản định chứ hàng đầu nhà từ được biết hai định là cũng như chỉ hai lần là ta sẽ từ lấy thang là sẽ về bây giờ cái này trả mong cho lùa phình đầu bây giờ bù tao là nu lùa đã được lâu chung thọ tới chu kỳ của tới dù hậu bù được biết hai định em sẽ giúp tốt này hai định là chờ chung chờ là cho nuôi tàu dạng rong là tiền nọ tiền trừ với nhiều chủ hữu nữ tiền em có biết thua tôi được biết hai tốt này cho tôi trong xài cần đâu cần đâu chỉ cần đâu đang rất dễ dàng rong là chỉ tôi mò sát rồi vẫn tôi đủ tao đã từ lâu sau tôi đánh tao à từ mong đi chàng lộ thành thơ thành hữu nữ tiền bên thua tôi trên cái tài sản đó với họ hậu rồi biết hai tốt này mong thao ta mong đó là ổn định cái trong để chỉnh tin lên nó có trừ sự chỉ là ý từ yêu vào tàu ta sẽ một cho nên tàu từ lúc sự sơ sự rằng em ta lấy yêu vào tàu em đầu cũng từ cái này là giờ tôi bắt hàng trong như này để thao vào châu rồi xua sẩy mông tàu cầu sang sẩy nó tờ chua chua lửa hai đêm đang có sự cứ lúc nó mới xuống thờ tàu có thân cho nàng ô chùa đợt đợt lâu chung lúc trâu nó trừ sự trở lại về trên đời mỗi chung hoặc tông cả bây họ ở bên trong dù bị thực ra trên trên ít lúc từ tỏng tê nó về cầu sang sảnh sang rồi quay từ tốt tôn thai từ tàu thai tên nụ rồng mấy ok rồng sang sẽ được tặng đồ rồng họ hạ cũng bên bao bên trên tôi này mới chung rồng sai chúng ta thao mê to cổ mê to băng mê rồng lên nó mê to băng mê hơn được không tao nói mong là quay cho tôi này chỉnh kinh cứ bắt đầu sự hở sự chơi gì đang dù cho tôi ban cho bên lúc công trình là bên lúc ngàn nó sai trừ sự rồi đó bên tôi cũng hạ mê hơn được nó thao cho City Council member, Leandro City Council member Luis Chavez had the members of the Fresno City Council. Then the Rich Collier Environmental LA Kitchen. Then the California Coastal Rural Development Corporation. John Thao, Lily Yang, then the Risk Oregus. Thao thì ban tại cao môn chư sinh, then the ban tại vị giàu cộng sản. Từ miền Tây xứ sở hở tôi mong thao được công trình nó, của cái lợi đầu dạng là ban đầu dạng bu chư sinh nó chắc là ô trâu nó chắc đặt cầm can tàu sỉ tàu tu cái miếng tàu luôn tàu chơi gì thả lúc nào nó ô nó nói lúc nào trừ sự bên trong cái này chẳng thì chắc là châu tôi chỉ hàng linh hết rồi nó giờ bị mua miệng tháo đi trâu nó đau mình tiền ra tiền chứ bây giờ chắc là châu để trên này mua châu tháo ăn tháo trừ cho nó được lúc ăn tỏng chứ bên ngoài dạng từ sáng sớm sáng khai thả hù khá bên bao bên đồng sai dùng sai về thầu cao hắn thì nó là ta xả la sơn hát hùa nà đối tượng lông chung cái ý tôi là chế trình chính anh thầu đối tượng lông chung tàu giải thật cái nụ trình chính thì nó là các gia lên tàu đúng bang với trung mỏ rất chẳng rất rùa kêu ra ở đây mò sang của tiêu đủ hú cho cái này trang tốt xin chịu điều mua sự sơ sự là ha lúc cả lúc bao họ đều như họ họ của các cháu ha dù các tổ chức tổ chức từ có những tổ nạn trên trình trên tận bên trên từ này mới xong 我招说，在内战里面有那种财中，罗贝都拿去帮山上给这种人，他后来呢，肉杀着，共产党中这人，这对人财宝，在中这些的呢，跟这内战上到，人家帮我来讲了，人家没施主了，没施主，到现在，留下对面我到，哎，罗多帮上帮助。 帮人路路走，他路包是，哎呀，那个他路有为他跑步做被这个地的被做梦嘛的，他被一个多人，那就对面对面用的都对给，到在他电路上了，有个地球就有火，地球就有草，就有硬，就有腐。 有主我看的看着，那个罗多师傅，个包啊的有这那种的讲，有多那种的讲，罗它就有草，它就有火，它就有腐，好的罗要变成变成人梦都上空，哎呀，然后呢，古叫路是海呢，古着哈宝的罗是，这哈我找得到，古着路在用的没找到，古着哈被路呢，我找到。
Good afternoon to everyone. Xiong. That's the extent of my mom for this evening. We don't need a translator. First of all, I want to thank everybody for being here today. Today's a very special day. We get to honor our friend and former colleague, Council Member Blong, and I know that oftentimes in the past he's always been the one to give out the proclamations, but we're actually going to give him one this afternoon for him. And I just want to, well, there you are. We're wondering where you went. So if you could come up, Blong. I just want to say a few words to really commemorate what we're doing here today, because today I really see this as us honoring the Hmong community, but also honoring what Blong has done, because I believe that the story of now Director of USDA Blong is the story of our Hmong community, a story of resilience, of perseverance, of oftentimes, struggling, but making it work. And I want to just give you a brief example of how our community, the city of Fresno, really depended and really has benefited from our Hmong community. As many of you know, we have not been able to get together like this in a while due to the pandemic. And during the pandemic, there were a lot of challenges, particularly for our most vulnerable. Here in the city of Fresno, we had what was called a hotspot. Folks that got sick and unfortunately passed away. But what happened during that time was also a story of resilience, and that to me symbolizes what the Hmong community has accomplished here in our community. Through the leadership of Blong, we were actually able to utilize resources where we had our Hmong farmers actually growing the fruits and vegetables that were then being passed out to our residents, the most vulnerable residents in South Fresno. And that was a perfect example of how our community here in the city of Fresno is now interwoven with our Hmong community. So how beautiful was that we had Hmong farmers growing the food and then benefiting all of our residents that were very vulnerable and needy at that time. And that program happened because of what Blong and his leadership and his team did during the pandemic. And I believe it's one of the reasons why I put a big spotlight on Fresno in the Central Valley, but what his leadership meant for the state of California. And if you're all wondering why Blong now has a lot of farmers as his best friends, is because he actually signs off on a lot of these USDA farm loans. So you're gonna actually see Blong probably start wearing a cowboy hat and some cowboy boots because he's getting very familiar with our agricultural community. But that to me is really a symbol of what Fresno, what the Central Valley was, and what a great opportunity for Blong to put the Central Valley and Fresno on the map, to have a Biden administration here from the Central Valley that monitors and really signs off on a lot of the agricultural programs that come out of here in our community. So if there are any farmers out there, Blong is your new best friend. He is going He's going to be making sure that Fresno gets resources. I know that because he's always been an advocate. And I want to make sure that today we honor you, Blong, with a proclamation. I won't read the whole whereases because we all know who you are, but here's what I will do. I'll read the last part, and then I'll let my colleagues say a few words because I think we all want to roast you, especially your former employee right there. So, whereas Blong now holds the title of State Executive Director of the USDA Farm Service Agency, now therefore be it resolved that the City Council do I hereby proclaim Saturday, October 8th, 2022 to be Executive Director of USDA Farm Service Blong Day in the City of Fresno. So I will let my colleagues say a few words before we give Blong. And I just want to say that the City of Fresno's proclamation is the biggest so far today. And that actually gets you out of one speeding ticket, Blong. I'll have my colleague, Councilwoman Soria, that's also running for State Assembly, by the way, up in Merced, say a few words.
Thank you, Councilmember Chavez. I just want to say that thank you for the opportunity to be here. I feel honored to be celebrating former Councilmember Blong. He actually is my predecessor. I will say that it's been a pleasure to work with him in the community. I feel honored that I came right behind you to represent District 1 in the City of Fresno. One of the first things that I got to do right after Blong left and I came in was to cut the ribbon for a brand new park that this man and his staff worked on west of the 99. That's the type of leadership that Blong has really demonstrated in our community. Always remembering and providing a voice for those that don't typically have a voice or a seat at the table. And what I'm proud here today is to see someone like Blong from the Hmong community rising to the level, because what it reminds us is that if he's here, there's a lot of young people looking at him, realizing that they too can one day achieve what he has achieved. And so that's why I know that he has loved on the community, but most importantly, worked hard on behalf of not only the Hmong community, but our entire city and now the entire state of California. So we're so incredibly proud to be here to honor him and celebrate just his achievements and really a reflection of the great work and the contributions of Hmong Americans, not only in Fresno, but in the entire state of California. So we honor you and celebrate you today.
Come over here, Blong. I want to hug you while, like Esmeralda did while she was speaking. I'll keep it very, very short, which is something my colleagues don't know how to do. And I just want to say that Blong, we appreciate you, all your service here in our community throughout all these many years. And that just reflecting back on our community, on the history of Fresno, I think you represent just how far the Hmong community has come nationwide here in Fresno, in really a generation or less. And taking a look at all the youth you've mentored, and you and many others are mentoring and coming up, and who I see working in public service, I can't wait to see what they're going to do next. So we appreciate you, appreciate all you do, and glad to be here with you this afternoon.
Getting a lot of hugs today, Blong. Blong, unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity of working together on the Fresno City Council. I came a few years after Blong. He represented the west side and I represent the east side, but the impact of Blong's work has had a ripple effect on our community, and you can still see all the good work that he's done throughout the years, whether that was serving our community on the Fresno City Council, whether that was empowering the Hmong community and the youth with ABRIC, whether that was feeding Fresno during the pandemic. This man has done so much for our community, bringing resources and ideas, not just to the Hmong community, but the Fresno community. And I'm confident he's going to continue to do the same at a statewide level. We have a representative from the presidential administration, homegrown here in the Central Valley. We're proud to have Blong Xiong representing us at the state level and at the federal level. So we appreciate all the work that you do, Blong, and I appreciate you reaching out to me when I was had a lot less white hairs running for city council and introducing me to the folks and the resources that you were knowledgeable about that I didn't have access to, and opening those doors. And I know you're going to continue to open doors for the folks here in the city of Fresno and this next adventure. I'm proud to call you a friend. Thank you for all your work, Blong.
Okay, for once in your life, Miguel Arias doesn't want to speak. Okay. So with that, Blong, thank you so much for your work. Thank you to our Hmong community for being here today to honor one of our leaders. We appreciate you. Don't forget about us when you go to Washington, D.C. We're just a short phone call away. But thank you again, Blong, for all your work, your dedication, and your commitment to our community and to our city. And for the record, this is the city of Fresno's the Gang of Five. We are not violating the Brown Act, for the record. We're here to honor Blong. So with that, thank you very much.
In the Hmong culture, you don't say good thing about the person. You wait until the person passes away, then you say good thing after. So, what do you want to say to them? Good thing or bad thing? I wanted to say a bad thing about him, but I could not find any bad thing about him. So I decided to say a good thing about him. Well, thank you so much. You can go back and have a seat. And I will say a little bit in English, and then going to transfer to Hmong version, since we have the majority in this room are Hmong speaking. Be careful for this gentleman. He had a lot of good leaders in the community. People sometimes joking, they say, is it Blong, the executive director, or is it Lu Yang is the executive director? So what John for Blong is those who hold a Congress position or state assembly position. This guy had the opportunity, he will compete with you. So be careful. One day he will make you high blood pressure and go up. I do not know how I get into this gentleman. Blong, when he just finished college, he had not gone to any other places. He came to Fresno Center. I asked him to serve as a board member first. And then later, a year later, he said, I'm stepped down. I wanted to work as a program director. So I said, that's fine. But you have to look in for funding to sustain you. I do not have funding. So then we decided to approach the California endowment. Since then, we have a lot of refugees that's newly arrived in Fresno. And we asked in California endowment for funding to do a dental education. I do not know how to even brush my teeth during that time. I brushed my teeth back and forth. But the person who knows how told me, no, you're killing your teeth by doing this. I learned a lot from this program. We got funding for $400,000 for a 2-year program from the California endowment. And Blong took charge of that. So he have a lot of leadership. He then know a gentleman in Fresno County Department of Behavioral Health, a gentleman named David Case. He came to us and he said, Lu and Blong, do you know that your community have not received the proper mental health services? And he said that to us. So I said, what can we do? You have to go and meet with the director. Blong and I went to see Donna Taylor, who was the director for the Department of Behavioral Health. And she said, Mr. Yang, you do not have the capacity to serve mental health services. And we was speechless. We came back to the office and we said, what can we do? We approached California Endowment. Once again, we got funding for 2 more years funding to provide mental health services. We hired an employee that we also hired a mental health specialist who retired from Department of Behavioral Health to train this employee for 2 years. And then we went back to Donna Taylor and said, we have 2 years experience. And she said, no, that is not enough. We asked the Office of Refugee Resettlement to give us 2 more years funding. And then we maintained to train that employee that we had for 2 years. So total of 4 years. We went back to see the director. And we were very fortunate. They changing the role of the director and a different name came up. And we went to meet her. And she said, well, now is a good chance to give you program to run mental health services. We're very fortunate. Blong led the program. But let me share you his leadership. We again receiving a notice from the director of the Refugee Resettlement, Washington, D.C. He said, Mr. Yang and Mr. Xiong, the 16,000 refugees still maintained in Wat Takapot, Thailand. We need to bring those folks back, come to America. In 2002, Tassim, the Thai Prime Minister, met with President Bush Jr. And he said, you have to take this group of refugees in Wat Takapot to United States because this group is a troubled group. Lao accused me to support this group and go back to fight with Lao government. So you have to take this group. And Dr. Wahan came and asked Blong and myself, you focus on 4 areas: education, housing, and employment. You have to have a plan for this group before they arrive. And I asked Blong to take lead on this group. So Blong responsible to coordinate and bring the 24 individuals to Thailand refugee camp. We have county board supervisor, we have Fresno Unified School District Board director, and we have a mental health doctor, a medical doctor, and TV 47. We have 4 people from TV 47, and state coordinator, and leader of the community. And we went to Thailand just to do study on the 4 areas. So when we had the complete survey, we came back and we compiled a report, presented to the city council, presented to the board supervisor, presented to the board, the Fresno Unified School Board, and then sent a copy to Dr. Wang Han in the Office of Refugee Resettlement. And Blong did all that, Blong coordinate that. So when we came back, we went back to California Endowment. We got $6.5 million to do help rapidly for the Central Valley. I have seen his leadership. When you assign something for him to do, he's not hesitating. He take that leadership and make it possible. So Blong Thank you for done a good job. So the group about to, we also asking Wells Fargo to sponsor the group. We got $30,000 from Wells Fargo. With the $30,000, we purchased ticket for the 24 individuals. But Blong had Susan Addison's ticket in his pocket. By 7 p.m., Susan Addison supposed to be in her flight in the airport. But 7 p.m., Susan showed up. And I asked her, "You supposed to be in the plane. Why you are now here?" And she said, "Well, I do not have my ticket." I said, "Why?" "Blong have my ticket." So I ran a call and asked Blong to take Susan Addison from Fresno, drive 3 hours to San Francisco, because our flight connection from San Francisco to Thailand is 11 o'clock. And at that time it was 7 p.m. It's a 3-hour drive. So in the 3 hour, Blong have a chance to chat with Susan Addison. And Susan Addison talked about city council seat. And she said, "If you wanted to run city council seat, I do not mind to endorse you." And that conversation was began. So we went to Thailand and came back, and he asked me, "What do you think? Should we run city council? Or should I be my father, work own a grocery store?" I told him, "If you want to be rich, be a businessman. But if you want to be famous, be a city council. But remember, be a city council. People may hate you, some people may like you, so you have to be patient and have enough knowledge to cope with the community. But I believe you have the guts to do that." So we campaigned, and then he got his seat, District 1. And I do not hesitate to talk good thing about this man. Whatever he hands on, he did a good job. And now he holds the seat. When he ran for a Congress position, I said, "It's too soon. You run too fast. We have to wait." And he said, "I guess I will win." So we did. He failed. And then the board supervisor position, we did not get the seat. But I told him, "Do not worry about it. We wait for another chance." So somehow he got to be elected to be state executive director for USDA fund agency. I asked him, "How did you get it?" And he said, "Well, a long process." But I'm so happy this man is a good leader for community. I still remember one occasion, a gentleman from the White House came to Fresno, mainly just to focus on gang activity. And he came and he asked gang in Hmong community, in Southeast Asian community. But Blong grew up in this country, and Blong said, "I do not know, you mean you come all the way from DC just to talk about gang?" And the gentleman said, he did not answer. And he said, "I believe you can live in the mainstream community." So I'm so glad that we have this young man, many of you become a leader of this community. Remember, we were refugees. Refugee means you have nothing. Refugee is different from immigrant. Immigrant means you prepare before you come. Refugee, you don't have a chance. 1 minute, you just get here. And it's tough to help this refugee group. But we have done so good. We are helping many young folks become lawyer, doctor, educator. And I'm happy to see that many of you take leadership in the community. I left Fresno Center I remember I see Mr. Thawj also in this room. He took my role. He had done a good job before. He had increased number of employees up to 120 employees under Present Center. This kind of leadership, we need to have young folks who grew up in this country to take lead on this community. We need to learn how to engage with politicians, engage with civic engagement. And again, these young folks do not hesitate. They take that leadership. And I'm so glad that you guys be a leader and teaching us how to be there. And learning each day will get us to the point that we're supposed to be. I'm so happy to share a few things about Blong. If I talk more about good things, he might forget about the community among Southeast Asian community. So Blong say you only have 3 minutes, but I believe I over my 3 minutes. So I do not have a chance to share a longer version, but I think many of you understand English. So I'm very happy. But Blong took the position. It's not only advocate for Southeast Asia. He represents the whole community, black and white, Hispanic, everyone. So whatever you do, we must do a good thing before we can get into the door. Otherwise, even Blong sitting there, Blong cannot say this funding for you. It's impossible because he represents the whole community. And many of us will have to do our best to make sure that we qualify for those resources and funding. Finally, Blong, congratulate you for a good job for the community at your former job, of your former boss. I'm so happy that I see your success. Now I give you back to your father.
And I just want to tell Louise I have a better pack and better and way heavier than yours for Blong. Just want you to let you know that, okay? All right, it's such a privilege. Believe it or not, Lou Yang was actually my leader before Blong. And it's so great to be working with 2 community leaders in our community who continue to support women empowerment. So I want to say thank you, and it's been an honor to work for Blong and also Nplooj. Xiong, 特别有点子，嗰啲呢家呢，是嚟做乜呢？特別都共同咁諗上，佢話買咗話，佢都是佢話教你，佢呢佢是要能應吧，佢想寫嘅我就對呢是嚟做到諗共同啦，但係是到講呢，聽想寫係點俾是嚟做啦，可能有應到俾，為係點諗上，或者俾到 State Executive Director，我到 USDA。 Thế của xã quan châu đâu bây chỉ là phần ba bỏ nếu mua lưu xe rồi cho bây giờ thì chỉ mong thôi là bây giờ mình ta chỉ bây giờ mua cái và mang ha cái rong. First and foremost, I want to thank General Bang Powell for leading and paving the way for Hmong people to come to America. Without his leadership, we would not be here today and we would not be successful. So I wanted to say gratitude to my great-grandpa, General Bang Powell. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. I usually don't speak. I'm usually behind the scene. When ask Blong, he knows. And I want to really just embrace God for giving life to my refugee grandparents, Colonel Wafong and my boss Wafong. Grandma, can you get up? And it's just an honor to be born to Hmong refugee parents. My father was a captain, Captain Nayingba, and my mom is Mrs. Nayingba. They fled to Laos to come to America so I could be born here, to have a better life, to have a better environment, to have a better health, to have a better education, to have a better job, and more importantly, better opportunities to dream big and to be a leader in my community, Fresno. Then I want to thank my older sister, my Gemba. She is a strong and loyal servant. She was actually Blong's first pick to come to City Hall. So I want to thank my sister Gia. Can we give her an applause? Blong being council member, the first elected Hmong council member in the state, and the first Asian council member in the city of Fresno, meaning Blong had to work harder and prove to the community. Blong is a deeply rooted leader in our community. Not long after he was elected to office, in 2007, Blong co-sponsored the freeze release fund for a local small farmer who lost more than 80% of their crops and had no insurance or saving. The no-interest 10-year loans from the city provided a maximum of $20,000 per farmer to start over, and is by far the first ever in the city. Congratulations, Blong. As Councilmember Esmeralda Story mentioned, in 2014, Blong had the privilege to take a vote on Inspirational Park. One of, I think, Blong's most amazing achievement is the Inspirational Park. The park is the first of its kind in the Central Valley, as it is a fully accessible park for kids and adults of all ages and abilities. So thank you, Blong. Besides Blong's daily operation as city council member, he made impactful budgetary decisions on housing, transportation, public safety, public works, and much more. He traveled all over the United States and out of the country for engagement like the United States Embassy Speaker Series in Laos, and participated in Brazil and in Japan with Kochi's sister city. Also, he sat on interviews committees for superintendent and chancellor. For 6 years, Blong hosted one of the most significant events for 20,000 disadvantaged kids that are diverse from ages 6 to 10 who would never have an opportunity to walk into Chansey Park. But they have an opportunity to play at the Chansey Park, play soccer where their family sees them, and then meet professional soccer players, making a difference that every child went home with a medal and a mindset that one day they will play soccer professionally on the field. He empowered young students in Fresno and Central Unified School District in 8 years. Also, the Clovis Unified School District did a series of learning about Blong Zhang's accomplishment, empowering students that if you dream big, work hard, it can happen, because it happened to Blong Zhang. Blong worked closely with Fresno Unified School District board members, elected officials, and the Hmong community leaders to have Vang Pao Elementary School in America that opened on August 2012. That was a huge win for the Hmong community. Thank you, Blong. Blong Zhang opened doors to our APA community quarterly at City Hall to provide leadership opportunity to sit on steering committees and pay leaders. To name a few, Blong has provided instrumental support and guidance to leaders like Misty Her, who is the first Hmong deputy superintendent and has the highest rank in America. Brandon Vang, who is the board president in Senior Unified School District, it was the first Hmong. Va Her, who is also a board member of Senior Unified. Pao Yang, who is the president and chief executive officer of Fresno Center. Former police detective Pao Xiong and current corporal Yang Vapong, who is the first Hmong in the city of Fresno. Rocky Vang, who is the district director with County Supervisor Sale Campbell, and the first Hmong to work for a county supervisor. Way to go, Rocky. Mai Pao, who is the political director for Courage, California. And of course, myself, who was Blong's first district director and the first Hmong woman to work for an elected official in the city of Fresno, and currently is the interim executive director here at Perry University, Fresno Unified School District, serving our families and students to achieve their greatest potential. We're the best. And before I forget, I want to introduce my son, which I forgot. Hi, Elijah. Wait. With that, on behalf of Fresno Unified School District, our Superintendent Bob Nelson, Deputy Superintendent Missy Her, who cannot make it today, our Board President Elizabeth Jonathan Raza, with our Board Clerk Veva Islas, Board Member Valerie Davis, Board Member Andy Levine, and the Parent University, Xiong, Marbella Lemus, and Xiong present Blong Xiong, the Leadership Impact Award. I would like to ask our board president to come say a few words and present him with the plaque with our board members.
Thank you. And I'll be brief as well. Blong, I remember when I first came to City Hall and we met, and you were so serious. You just wanted to make sure that I knew that I had to pay attention to the Blong community. And I remember one of the first opportunities that we got to collaborate was on the 2010 census. As you sat in my office and made sure that all the plans that I had were going to take care of the Hmong community. Thank you for volunteering for doing all those ads. He even did a couple Spanish ads, you know? But during the entire time that I've known this young gentleman right here, he has been a staunch community leader, not only for the Hmong community, which has always been top of mind, how are these programs going to benefit our Hmong community, but our entire community as a whole. And now, as I sit in another role working at Weston's Water District, and now we get to partner on agriculture stuff, so he's going to bring us some more water, right? You know, I've just seen his dedication to our Central Valley and to our community, and we couldn't have a more deserving leader. Thank you.
I'd like to invite our clerk, Beverly Scott, to say a few words as well.
Thank you. Well, I want to just offer my congratulations and thanks to Blong. We don't have a long history together, but what I will tell you is that we have walked similar paths and fought for similar things. And I have to say that it has been really encouraging during my term to have you call me and tell me thank you and encourage me to continue. And I would say that yes, water is important, but I think what's more important is making sure that our local farmers are part of our local economy. And one of the things that we're working on Fresno Unified School District is local procurement. And what I hope to work with you on is to continue to build the intermediate aggregation from our local small farmers so that they can feed into institutions like our school districts, like our hospitals, and other areas that require that. And I think that is a tremendous source of economic opportunity for our communities that we can't walk past. So I'm looking forward to working with you on that. And again, just thank you for all you've done and all you will continue to do.
All right, I would like to also invite our board member Valerie Davis.
First, I want to thank God for giving me this opportunity to be with you today and watch this historical moment. I was in the council chambers in 2007 when you gave your congratulations, your speech, and nothing but tears ran down his eyes. And he spoke to his family with nothing but sincere gratitude. We couldn't understand a word he said, but we understood. Everything translated. So thank you for the humble kindness that you have always shown, and you just being yourself is success. Congratulations.
All right, and Councilmember Andy Levine.
Oh, board member of trustees, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. And on that, actually being somebody who's just come into elected office after spending years trying to just make things kind of difficult for our elected officials sometimes, I'm walking in your footsteps. You laid a foundation for so many of us. I just think a celebration for your community, for the Hmong community, but I think we're hearing clearly that this is a victory for us as Fresno. I thank you for your service, and I want to echo Trustee Davis, my colleague who just spoke, to name not only your leadership and all you've done, but the joy that you bring, like just seeing the joy, the smile and the laugh on your face and your loved ones' faces. That's important too, to make sure that people see the human side of who we are. And so I thank you for all that you've done, Blong, and continue to do in your new role. Congratulations.
All right, thank you, board president, board members. The Impact Leadership Award says, presented to Blong Xiong in recognition and appreciation of your positive impact for commitment and strong leadership in a thriving community. Friends Unified, thank you for your dedication, work towards excellence, October 8, 2022. And Louise, it's heavy, that's why he's not holding it. Thank you.
我俾陸共校 A-break，陸共校咧有接龍，接龍完咗，接龍企嘅，接龍到落會將來喐我外校嘅，我接龍做好好，我哋落手做接龍嘅，接龍嘅接嘅個nation 定計都係我做做接龍嘅接龍嘅。 盡量俾錢嘅頭，你講會有啲呢個我只係雖然是呢種我係嘅，就係到我俾落公司落咗，接落啲弄你到係咩？呢個差咧做接落，你有冇接落你想麼啦？要做幾把俾你好嘅 break，你仲要把你隻燈，即係高手，有接落啲小嘅，我會就切了。 有冇接龍咗全部就政府就俾最地方，又俾最地方銀行，又俾公行，佢哋落攞佢哋仲高，你大錢咯。又全部接龍，佢哋仲俾公行，接龍得嘅，公行又都接龍冇，就是話接龍有些攞，有些嘅高，攞係個股係個股落市啊，可能要落股嘅呢種。 我知道，為什麼接龍別另一個，去三種形式，三種單方面嘅，單方面嘅地方，也不可以晒的。對我來說，香港人我做嘢我做家，可能有一個呢種大事咯，俾老公後嘅 break，俾到我才我嘅俾老公後，可能有咩個 vision，你接龍做落俾，可能有個接龍貼落俾，就要我包裝咯。 我不到我不到學的幹，學的我，這裡也一套中，也可能要和自動鐵路比較多。That's the vision that Paper has, is that it's not about us, it's not about our organization, it's about what we can do for our community, what we can do for the people that we serve. That's the backbone of Paper, and that is the backbone of Paper. Because that's the vision that Blong has, and that's the care that Blong shows. It is because of Blong that April is thriving, that it is successful. I clearly remember when I first met Blong in 2016, and he asked me to join the board of April. And the first question I asked him was, how much money do we have in our bank account? And he said, we have $23,000 in a Wells Fargo account. And I kind of giggled and I said, are you serious? And he said, yeah, I'm very serious. At that point in time, April was such a small organization. We were a working board. Literally, the board showed up to do the work. But with Blong's vision, leadership, and support, we were able to grow our organization to what it is today. Today, we service all of our Southeast Asian small businesses. We service all of our small farms throughout the valley and throughout the state. Blong's vision during the COVID-19 pandemic is what set us apart from everyone else. During the COVID pandemic, everyone was struggling, but what Blong saw was he saw an opportunity for all of us to service our community, to really truly live out the vision that he had for April. And with his support, his hard work, his dedication, and the support of our amazing staff at April and our board, during the COVID-19 pandemic, we were able to secure almost close to $3 million in direct funding right back to our struggling Southeast Asian businesses and Southeast Asian farmers throughout the Central Valley. Because of Blong, our economy, our Southeast Asian economy, especially our farmers, had a lifeline during the COVID-19 pandemic. Blong 就係我做過咯，我上地嚟經過Blong。 但係邊度我表同學曬喺我做過嘅活動，你你做邊度你做邊同學，你直接答同學，就係點講為咗切落差，關鍵切我邊度為我如果我邊個寫啥，我 carry on your legacy, or carry on your vision and anchoring the way that you want, which is to not think about what you can do for yourself, but to think about what you can do for your community. Yeah. That's something that I've learned from you in the short time that we've known each other. So thank you, Blong. Good job. Good job, Olive. Blong. You know what y'all did? Thì các tại lúc hôm trước sau chiều còn những con nó lo để cho phần công nghệ phát triển để của chúng tôi làm để chia sẻ.
Bây giờ hay là chân thế này, đó là thì để cái chỗ họ lùi đau giả kia. Bây giờ hay nhau nên là hay luôn luôn mi ai chứ, thì xin mà hai đấy chỉ là mấy em sát đấy này, rồi họ thì Blong lúc này theo thằng Blong thì nhám Blong cái lúc này rồi có một tour ra nó, cái public recognition trong cái, và bây giờ hai đấy chỉ là một sát đấy á, cố hai đấy nó, tháo một trâu án được sống. Tự rất giống mấy và lúc sát làm để mấy thầy chúng tôi tụi tu ra đi nó còn nó giờ phải trong trăm lời nữa bây giờ nó biết sáng bảo như tôi cho mình nhỏ trong đi Blong tôi lên là tàn đi đâu giờ ít khó example mà giờ chơi tụi trẻ sao lại trong bên cái chờ để nhiều món này còn bảo bỏ tôi sẽ tới chơi nó chỉ món tung lông nó tôi lên sao mà tao không có khẩu lựu cho khẩu lựu nó chỉ ở bên chỉ tung lông này qua nó khẩu lựu cái sĩ qua bên mong cho khẩu lựu nè giờ qua bên mong cho khẩu lựu giờ thế là phun vào có tụi bao sủa có thế là phun hoàn tiền giờ có bên mong một nhóm tàu chạy chơi để thiết đi complete bên luôn này mong nó chơi do trong của ta hay thì tung lông tới một rượu để rượu là thì xin chẳng chỉ tao cho bên chơi bên đó bên nhau mà nó còn đây đó phải có cái mong xia rồi đâu xia để bây giờ nhớ cả bên sau bây giờ cũng là bên sau thế có sẽ được chỉnh chia bên mong mà nhớ thằng tới chờ từ rồi bây giờ công ca thì xin do vì mấy chúng ta cái cần đó bây giờ công ca thì sau cái này cần tao trâu xíu và lúa xíu lọ xíu đá mỗi tung lông nó là qua tuổi giang trâu này ai có sẽ được cho nhà cho gì một phát kha mình tôi mới nhỏ là qua xíu lọ xíu đá qua xíu đấy rồi chỉ thao chỉ rồi chỉ thao bao cái thiết của tao trong lì ở tung lông nó qua họ cũng xã hại cho tung lông được sắp khó cũng xã hại tiền tung lông họ có con trò có tổ ba b cho cô tung trò indirectly directly nên để thì nhóm thằng này không nhận nó để thấu có trò chúng ta đi nó thấu có trái ít chuột nó tổng tê thấu có tiền ít chuột cho các là đúng với cho cô tung trò thì bây giờ cô tung mua bây giờ cô tung trò thấu bên tua cái chợ no thì cái chuyện bao là nó mà tụi tao luôn từ cái chuyện bao nè mà đi giờ vì tao thấy quan trọng America bây thêm một tiền chỉ thế nên tụi đây chuyện nó thế cho này cho mình cứ nhiều tôi cần các phần đó thế tân thế chơi nó có thể mua nhớ chế đâu nhớ khó từ là xin lệnh thọ có xã thọ không theo luôn không theo do trong hai tiền lúc ba nó lọ họ từ lọ lúc nông thì tôi chờ tôi thấy chờ America này nó thì ở những kho phiên chỉ có tồn tại của nó thì bây giờ đợi những có thâu con bây giờ cũng tôi phải nhiều ba con thâu con lúc con có ý là bây tụi tu trong có giờ ý tụi tu chỉ riêng ít học ảnh sự cho bé sẽ được để nó theo thì bé cũng có khu tu trò bé theo cái ba tàu khó nó cho tôi qua phòng play cho tôi long cho mình cho không chế qua lá thẳng thì không nói yêu khó tôi long mà tôi lọt khử cho nó lọt khử nè xí đi ra bây giờ khu tu trò theo thì mọi như là cái bằng vị chế theo mong theo thời tổ tại bên tôi bây giờ chỉ riêng nó chế còn nó của ở mò chỗ tung long sẽ hai cho tung long thì ta cho biết chỗ không sẽ đời hạt địa bên mong ý tử rồi nếu em được giống thì có lò lụt nào thầu công bây giờ mong mấy thiệt thì chỉ vì bây giờ cũng tung trồng chỉ vì nó là công nhiều nhữngตัวtàu nhiều nó để xem mà cho nó lò lụt hạt địa công vua đi thì chúa xia tàu công vua thì chúa kỳ nữa thầu nhớ hồ hành đi mà nhiềuตัวmà nhiều tiền ô thầu ba lô ba tục mà nó cho những cho nhiều nó thì xin thầu đi long mà thầu đi long lại mà đồ chín đồng chín thì mà chỉ là bao thế nó nè mà thầu còn đi cho thầu bây giờ cũng tôi cho tụi tôi chỉ thế chỉ hai lắm này chỉ hai tụi tôi vì mua bây giờ cũng tôi cho bây theo đi mua không nó bây theo thì tàu tôi nhau nó chỉ bảo mình chấp lời nhau điện tế để nó giờ vì giờ cô tôi trần nó lúa hộp cổ giờ vì thân là tôi bảo bỏ vào tôi cho bây giờ bây theo cho đầu này tôi chơi tôi chia nó chia trừ giống như mong cái chỉ mỗi ít phần nhau điện tế nó thì xí nó tôi đông tôi muốn rộng về chơi để sáng rồi giờ President Joe Biden là tôi appointed như là giờ muốn ta huấn nó trong nữa. By the way, tôi tháo con trâu nên nó đau bụng này hai lô lần. Thì xí này chúng ta ca của President Joe Biden trâu. Nung nó mà cũng sở chế để cho cô tôi ra biết cô tôi ra tháo của President Joe Biden trâu. Tại vì anh tôi chẳng lúc mong thế. Thì ba mà tôi lòng nào là mua ý từ chỉ sai để xin được appointed đó mà chỉ đi trả thế nào thì đúng lòng câu quân đó nó mà bây giờ lại ở người tháo hai lo luôn nó xa đầu hốt đầu chung mình cho President Joe Biden ở địa ôn được trâu nữa vì tung lòng giờ bây tụi tung mong thì nó nói bây mong lòng siêu hành ở vì mua President Joe Biden vào qua ta không lùi nó nhưng đồ thì chạy đâu những thiết sản bỏ bên mong thiết lưu bên mong để hai đi nó xưa để tung lòng thảo quả quát lưu với khu tôi tròn thế cho tổng với trong khu tôi tròn nữa có những lúc cờ là hiện sĩ mà trường chúa chỉ tao cờ nữa bên mission bên logo chỉ tao cờ including các gì đó các gì đi ăn tờ để lúcอยู่เนี่ยอยู่gì lúc bây giờ khu tôi tròn anh để tiền ở trong này cho để họ nói chuyện mất được có cho một我这问题就我讲红，有我改次，那就大好之中，我见到这就这话懵了还有用呢，我走了那谁的
？Okay, I learned from the military. Action, don't talk too much. Okay, so congratulations, Blong, and thank you for all that you have done for our veterans. God bless you. Thank you.
nó nói dùng nhiều na nó nói ino một tụ bằng mình cũng trong thế nháp long cái tàu lâu nào chữ là mộtตัวtết tôi chờ là một này nó cô nào chữ cô nào đã cứ đi sao đâu chúng sẽ dùng chữ mua cái mua chuyện chỉ chế bằng cho là ở cái đồng xe đồ nên là tụ nha mà bây giờ trả lời sản lượng của tôi chế nên là bây giờ tôi chế nên bây giờ chỉ chế bị nhẹ bị cú bị không bị lòng bị chế bị số bị nào bị chế cú chỉ chế nữa cũng là của tôi chế nó tôi đặc biệt tên trả ta là sẽ là tôi chế cái món kinh nghiệm chế vị chế sử dụng tài sản trả khởi nhận khởi dư cơ chế khởi cụ chung vẫn là nhà lấy trả lấy tờ của một yêu của một đời cái chỉ xem thì bao cái về cái chỉ dùng của chế tiết sửa của chế một đồ ở này là đây cần con số một đồ đây của một đồ ra phải ra kho mà còn giặt thì giặt chỉ dùng mà giờ này chỉ sát to mà còn này chỉ phúc bỏ thế này chỉ phun nó là nữa cô cũng lời vì lời sửa lời suốt tại chúng ta khởi dân khởi dự khởi chỉ cơ cũng ở một chỗ cái từ khu một chỗ để của một chỗ ra phải ra kho một chỗ tu ta khác thế ta kho mà cái phải cái chỉ dùng mà chỉ khu của một cái tụi nhá là nó hiểu không? Cho cái đấy sang, cũng biệt cũng toa cái để theo xe, để bị kia kêu toa cái. Ba sao thế nữa? Ok, bây giờ thấy rồi. Ok, nó này đó. Bé cho được đó, cho ba của sáu rồi nữa nè mà, lúc nào bé sáu của tụi tôi một thiên giám luôn nè, sáu nữa trong này trong nọ trong đây trong chợ trong tàu trong tàu trong nọ trong chữ trong hoa trong thứ tức là bị nhẹ bị cú bị không bị lông bị chết bị cú chết đi là chết là tí là trong người trong này trong nọ, tao cứ là ôn nọ qua chữ là nhá cả nhau được số tan được số mù cái nọ chỉ trong hồ chữ kỳ là nữa. Nó là dùng nó nên là nó là cái chân cái hồ này là một con nó gọi là lúc tết lúc chơi là khi có khi làm sao thì làm lúc là tí khi nó nhau rồi nó cái gì lúc nào to nó lâu mà nó con nó sẽ chơi là nhớ bạn chúng ta trong một có từ một ca một cái loại đó
nó khai nhận trong này sẽ được vắt chế khả năng chỉ là trả được mọi người xem TV còn nó giờ inu cái trong xe trong bên đó họ trong bên trong president thì nên bọn quý sản nó giờ bên từ new executive director the Beisha và USDA họ bên trong nó chỉ trong xe cần có lý thiên Blong Xiong tàu là một sở y sản的cũng là thiên的bên tua tàu y lưu trong thawm Blong nè em Blong hay ở bên là lưu trong bên sẽ được vắt chế
真的，我大陆种了菜，我的是大陆种了菜，被种了这多呢。不上我叫 planning committee， 不是来到毛山，我都种了这个，而且不上的可能也好还叫被节目的路线呢，也被说成种啥样，可能也被好但。bây giờ chúng ta chọn là chủ lực sẽ bây giờ cho nó chỉ nhớ tổ chức là bây giờ một bên sẽ đối xử giờ khả năng bây giờ lúc họ cho mình qua cả lúc đây là tổ bộ ta bây giờ mong nhau chơi cho nó to là bao nhiêu đời sống bây giờ cả đó就cho nó chỉ phải sát gần gọi to ở lại với trong sát gần gọi ta ở lúc trong cho cuộc thì ta nằm ở lúc trong cho bây giờ nó tốt
trong xe cái đó thì ban đầu bây giờ mong và này nó yên congratulate con bây giờ xe thì có tập opposition đó ý con nói ý con trong cái gọi là đầu ta là bây giờ mongแต่是có khi mình chỉ thì có họ lùi lý trả tên là thì sau đó bây giờ là lý trả
sao đấy chứ cái đó thì có cái lùi này cũng là state executive director cho sai là bây giờ cho nó cho president Biden tôi là họ lùi sai cho này cho chỉ ở đây但全家好新 California 也可能我可能我到空到住好新 California
OK trong cần gọi lên nè vì hay tiệp bé chúng ta mua ít tu lòng mua này nó tua thì sai hiệu ta nó chọn trong nè trong xa hay tiệp lòng mua trong đó họ sẽ là ở tây rồi bên trong California nào.
真的。
Okay, thank you so much 多个路西海呢，哎，让些个老母讲讲们这些。